Ladies and gentlemen, episode 53 of Vapor Work Podcast with your boys. Rest past Peach and Walt. Peach isn't here. I don't even feel like doing the shock and awe factor. Although this would have been a good episode to have him in, considering what happened on SmackDown last night.
Yeah.
Yes. Rest past, how are you doing today? This morning? This lovely morning.
I'm exhausted.
Oh man. I wonder what people expect when they hear that. When they say we're exhausted in the beginning of it. If they expect a car wreck of an episode or a...
Yeah, they're probably expecting like a gem, like a diamond in the rough episode. Like, I had no interest in this topic. I hear they're both tired.
Oh man.
Maybe it's a good one.
Yeah, that's what we can only hope for. That's what we can only hope for. So before we get into the topic, I didn't even tell you about this. I have a little announcement to make. Just a little something special for the viewing audience. I can officially say we will be doing another year of Vapor Work Podcast.
Hell yeah.
The main reason why is I just got charged for Podbean this morning, so didn't realize that was coming in. So
I was glad to hear we've been picked up by another year.
Yes, I picked us up for another year.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
The ratings have been steady.
That is a statement.
Yes.
Oh man. No, I was like laughing. I saw when I woke up this morning, I was like what the hell is this? Look through and see, oh, Podbean, here's the money for, your subscription and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm going to make a little joke on the podcast this morning with an announcement saying we're doing it for another year.
I've had to inquire since we moved into this house purely because I keep forgetting what credit card I put it on and it just renews. And then I just randomly, it's a card I don't even, it's a credit card I literally have no balance on, and I just randomly have like a $40-some balance on it. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, oh shit. One of these times I'll stop.
Well, it's people like you that are keeping printed media alive, so thank you. We don't just support other podcasts, we support all sorts of media. So, all right, so topic this week. Briefly, did you see anything that happened on SmackDown last night?
I've read it.
Oh my god, I don't know what the hell is going on. This is exciting, though.
Yeah, it's funny, I know. I hate reading results because then I'm inclined to look at the comments, and then I hate looking at the comments because it's the same couple things. Someone trying to be funny, someone shitting on the product, or someone talking about how great it was. It's the same couple things. It's like listening to sports radio. It's you don't want to do it, you do it, and then you regret it, and for some reason you continue to do it. But it seemed like a solid show. I mean, as funny as it is, I like the way they went about at least three of the things. I'm obviously the Kofi thing. I love the fact that Charlotte beat Asuka for the title.
I just don't. That one came out and I was similar to you. I got home later last night, so I didn't. I wasn't watching it all the way, and I just see the thing and it says impromptu match women's finish on Reddit. I'm just like, oh, okay, let me see what was the match. I see Charlotte versus Asuka. I see Asuka tapping out. I'm like, oh, I guess this was like a warm-up match, and I turn it off. Well, like a half hour later, I'm like scrolling through something, and it's like Charlotte shocks and wins the women's title at SmackDown. I'm like, wait, that was for the women's... What?
That's when I woke up for work. I now wake up an hour earlier, so it was about 8:55 or something. That's why I wanted to go read the results when I could, just because it said... that they were wrestling for the title, and I'm thinking that's perfect, absolutely perfect. Because one can only assume that this match within the two more episodes, well, I guess one SmackDown, one Raw between now and WrestleMania, that this match will somehow become for both titles.
I guess it has to, yeah.
I see it somehow turning into that. Or else it's pointless.
Yeah, you're right.
To have Charlotte with the title. It doesn't make any sense at that point. Like, who's the most obvious one to win the match at that point? if it's not for that title, well, you almost pencil in Charlotte out of it.
I hope they don't get crazy with it and turn it like into a 2 out of 3 falls match. First falls for the Raw, second falls for the SmackDown, or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I would.
Yes,
that's where it is. It is a little fishy because I don't know how you make it for both titles. Because then, no matter what, both whoever wins is going to have both titles.
Yeah.
And I think the whole point is to have Becky holding up both titles at the end. At least that's what you would assume. It would be hilarious if they ended the night with Rousey with both titles. But yeah, I'm confused on how they're going to do it in such little time. But I'm interested, possibly even a little bit more. And that's the point?
Yeah,
is to be like, wait, what the hell?
It's a good card so far, honestly. They built up a good WrestleMania, but we will probably talk more about that maybe next week in our predictions episode. So we should, we'll release a full sled of prediction episodes. We still don't know exactly how we're doing them yet, but we'll release in 3 episodes next week though. That's a guarantee. We will split up the predictions, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Even if they're 10 minutes each.
Nah, they'll be longer than that.
Yeah, I know.
So, but this week,
well, real quick before you get into this week,
what
was the third thing?
What was the third?
Obviously, New Day, the women's. What was the third thing?
The no falls count anywhere match. McMahon and Miz has turned into a falls count anywhere match.
Now, I love the Orton AJ Styles.
Oh, that thing, yeah, that was a good finish.
Yeah,
that one.
I love the setup for that match.
We're not going to be able to talk. We'll talk more than 10 minutes because I can go on for about half hour about the whole angle.
The angle.
The angle, if you must. But let's not let's.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry. I
thought. See, now
I did say 3 things. I want to point out what those 3 things were.
I appreciate that you wanted to show the world you can count, and that I can't. No. So again, especially during WrestleMania time, we then tend to talk WWE heavy, which is almost as expected. So I'm surprised you're not as more interested in this topic just because I wanted to take a step away from WWE. So one of the fun things I think when we went down to WrestleMania, and this is always going to, I realize every WrestleMania we're always going to bring up when we went to WrestleMania, that's just a foregone conclusion. But some of the funner things we did was seeing the other stuff that was going on because WrestleMania, wherever it's at, is just the wrestling mecca for that weekend. And every other indie promotion or one-off thing comes and they set up shop and they have a lot of matches all throughout that weekend. So I wanted to touch on the other cards taking place during WrestleMania weekend, not WWE related.
Yeah, I don't want people to get the wrong idea of what you said, that I'm not more into it. I would love to be. Unfortunately, the last couple of weeks have been rough.
Yes.
I've been getting used to a new work schedule. I'm now working all night and watching the kids throughout the day because Jess is now working during the day. So it has not been pretty, and I've been extra tired. So
well, Russ Pace, if there's one thing I will always say about you, you are not pretty.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, so as much as I wanted to get more in depth on this, I just haven't had the time and or energy to kind of get my hands around it. But I did kind of go over at least what you sent me.
Yeah.
With all the cards and stuff, I kind of went through. I have some that I'm looking forward to, matches that I would want to see, cards. I kind of have my top 3 ranked of ones that I would like to go to. So I did do some type of work towards it. Yeah,
no, you probably did more than me still. So that is probably a fact. But let's start. So there's going to be some WWE related items in here, just because of Evolve is having events and they work very closely with WWE. But let's talk about the main one. Probably the big indie one is the Ring of Honor New Japan G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden.
Not on my top 3, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
But they just announced the card, I think, earlier this week or late last week. I forget when it actually fully came out. But it's an overpacked card, and part of me is upset about it, but part of me gets why they're doing it. So your two main events for the night, it's Jay White versus Okada for the New Japan, for the Heavyweight Championship. And then you have a triple threat with Skrull, Lethal, and Taven in a ladder war for the Ring of Honor Championship.
Right.
I'm more excited for the triple threat match than I am for the Okada Jay White match. I love Jay White. I love this switchblade gimmick that he has going. I'm not fully sold on him for an Okada sense. I don't think he can beat Okada.
Right.
Even though he beat Tanahashi for the title. I feel like something wonky's going to happen, like Gato's going to get involved or something like that. But I'm looking forward to it just as well. So this is the show I'm about 80% that I think I'm going to go to. I think I am going to try to make it up to this show. And the card helped kind of cement that. Are there any cards anything you're looking forward onto it, even though it's not
on that card?
Yeah, on that card.
Well, I love Jay White and Okada. How could I not? I actually and I'm not that knowledgeable on anything leading into this or anything like that, but I could see that as a more of a long-term thing between them two. White's the champion now.
Yes.
Now I doubt it happens here, but if Okada were to win, and I feel like you could almost get that Omega Okada type feel to it, where Omega, it was like Omega was trying to, I guess, finally beat him in that feud, where I could see it kind of being the same thing. It sucks that White's the champion now, because I feel like you said, you don't believe that he could beat him, so you almost need that those couple matches to prove that he can,
even though
that he's that close, kind of thing.
Even though it's funny because he's also already beat Omega. Jesus Christ, He has a resume. I'm just thinking of this now. He's beating Omega. He's beating Tanahashi. I don't think he's beating Okada yet. I think he's beating Naito. Jesus.
Yeah, it's and Okada's like one of those things, especially in New Japan. He's larger than life. Even when Omega beat him, it's still Okada can't be touched in that sense. He's bigger than he has the most days or whatever, right?
Okada, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it would.
He has that about him. Where I like Ibushi, Tanahashi. I've seen wrestle a little bit. Those guys there I like, but Okada is the definition of New Japan, pretty much. So to have him chasing Okada with the title interests me more than Okada wrestling White as the champion, if that makes any sense. So unless you have Okada just run him the fuck over and beat him.
Yeah, and the one thing I saw too is I don't think Okada's, because then you can have really 2 short title reigns.
Yeah. Or
3 relatively short title reigns after Okada's lengthy one. And now nothing's going to compare to that, so everything's going to seem short or something like that. But the other match I'm looking forward to is honestly Naito and Ibushi.
Yeah.
I just think that's good. It's going to be hard hitting. And then who is? Hold on, I want to pull up the actual, because the site I'm looking at doesn't have the card right.
See, that was my biggest problem. I was looking through stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if this is right or not. I looked up a couple of them because I will admit that you sent me something from Reddit that showed all the cards.
Well, yeah, I sent it was
basically
basic.
That's what I went off of. So
yeah.
I don't know if some of the stuff were typos. I know some of the matches were not, there were guys announced for cards, not necessarily who they were wrestling.
Yeah. That was the other. Sabre Jr. versus Tanahashi. That shit. I really like Sabre Jr. So, it looks like to be a fun card, and like the ticket prices aren't too bad. I think it's like just to get in the building, it's around like $40 or so, $40 or $50. Yeah. So the thing I was saying though is like the tag team match. They originally had I think it was supposed to be God versus Villain Enterprises originally for winner take all Ring of Honor tag titles and IWGP tag team titles, but then they turned it into a fatal 4-way with Evil and Sonata and the Briscoe brothers, throwing them in there. Which is, listen, I want to see the Briscoe brothers, like, they deserve to be at Madison Square Garden when Ring of Honor goes there, since they've been with Ring of Honor from day one, essentially. But I just think, like, this is a clusterfuck of a match.
I always feel like you have that with these cards, though, to be honest with you.
And then
you have that 4-man tag team match. We were like, if they just had the two teams that I really wanted to see in this match, it would be a hell of a lot better than 17 guys suicide diving on each other, and it all ends up being the same thing. There's only so much they can do with 4-man tag team matches, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And then you have also Will Ospreay versus Jeff Cobb, which I think is going to be a fun match.
I wish I could say I knew who Jeff Cobb was.
He's relatively newer. He's a big guy. Like he's a bigger guy, so definitely different styles. I don't think I've seen like clippets of his match. Right. But to me it's a wrestling match of different styles.
Okay.
And it's also just Will Ospreay, so I like him. Yeah. So, then Bully Ray has a open challenge, which since Bully Ray is representing Ring of Honor, assuming it's going to be someone from New Japan, probably Suzuki, and they're just going to get angry and just beat the shit out of each other.
Right.
So, probably the biggest card of the weekend. I'm very excited.
Okay. Can I jump to what my number one was?
Go, please.
I went through all these cards.
Please.
And I will tell you what, if I could pick any of these shows to go to, any one. There was a number one that I would want to see before any other one.
Can I take a guess?
Sure, go ahead.
What day is it on?
That's not a guess.
Well, I think I know which one it is.
Well, if I tell you, you probably... Although, you know what? 2 of my top 3 are on this day. It's Thursday.
Let me look. Was it Impacts?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say Impact, and I can assume why.
I mean, it's more than just RVD and Sabu.
That's what I was going to say. So that was going to be a...
I mean, that looks like a hell of a match. I'm not going to lie. Pentagon and Phoenix versus RVD and Sabu. Then you have Sami Callihan versus Jimmy Havoc, which I believe is a Monsters Ball match. You got Tessa Blanchard versus Joey Ryan in an intergender match. You have
that is a Monsters Ball. What is a Monsters Ball? I forget what that is.
I think it's just a fancy hardcore match, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It was something with Abyss. I remember Abyss had something. I don't remember if there's an exact reason to it, but I believe there were. I actually looked this up because I was just looking through a couple of the different shows. I looked this up, and apparently there was a Team Impact against, I'm not sure who the other team is, but John Morrison, Johnny Impact, actually moved to the X Division match. He left Team Impact, which has Brian Cage, Moose, and Eddie Edwards on it. So to see John Morrison in an X Division, what's it called? The
Ultimate X match.
I think that might be what it is.
Yeah, I have the card up here.
And then it's a 4-way for the women's title with Taya Valkyrie, Rosemary, Katie Forbes, and I Love Jordan Grace. So
I have a feeling like she'll probably win this one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, this actually seems fun. Man, this is 11 o'clock at night. That's a late night.
Yeah,
we're too old for this.
It's funny. I was looking at it and I was like, ooh, if I call out of work, it's only about an hour away. Maybe I can get Walton. on a Thursday night. But then I was like, 11 o'clock, fuck no.
Yeah.
If you give me a 9 o'clock, at the latest.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when it ends.
Yeah. I saw that. I just was going through and saw that card. I was like, wow, that's a hell of a card. Like, Impact is good now, man. Like, they are...
Yeah.
They are building back up the right way.
Yeah. And that's... I mean, just to throw other names at Jack Evans, Rich Swann, was it LAX against Low-Key and Ricky Martinez, which I'm not sure who Ricky Martinez is, but Low-Key, how do you not love him? So there's... the card, for the most part, from top to bottom, even me, who doesn't necessarily know a lot of these indie guys and stuff, I know at least half the names on the card. I probably know more names on this card than I did
the Ring of Honor card.
Yeah, and that has a little bit to do with it. I know these guys a little bit better, especially the New Japan guys. I know them a little bit from the couple shows I've watched, but not enough. And this card stood out for me as a whole.
I think
how do you not jump on the tag team, Pentagon Phoenix versus RVD and Savio?
Yeah, Lucha Brothers versus them guys, man. That is... I saw that. I was like, oh my god, this is worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, let me look through what else. Like, so, I basically sent over I found the list of all of the events taking place over the weekend. And just send it out. This is the list I went through, like of every similar list of when I was trying to find stuff for us to do when we went out there.
Right. Okay.
So,
well, if you look at also at 11 o'clock, there's AIW Slumber Party Massacre. Scott Steiner is wrestling Swoggle. So
what day is this on?
It's right under Impact if you see on that list.
Oh my.
It's the second match.
Scott, oh my god. Jesus Christ.
That was like I said, there were certain matches that stood out to me. That one stood out to me.
Hold on, I want to look this up.
Jeez. I'll go down my list of 3 while you're looking at stuff, all right? My number 2 is that
AIW one I like because MJF's on it and I like him.
Yeah, I actually there was a bunch of cards that had him on it, and yeah, I'm a fan of his.
Well, that's the one thing that always happens also too. Like these, like the independent guys, they'll jump to just whatever show like they have like a time slot for essentially.
Joey Ryan's Penis Party.
Oh, that was my that was a number 1 for me just because.
As much as I love the guys in the card, there is one big reason why this is number 2 on my list.
Because of Joey Ryan.
Nope. Look at that card. Hey, there's one match.
Shark Boy versus Green Ant?
Nope. Come on, should be obvious.
Hold on, I just want to make sure I can Google search this and my mom won't find out just because it has the word penis in it.
If I remember correctly, it is in it's being competed in like a special match.
I'm pulling this up. Oh, okay, I found them. Dan Barry and Bill Carr.
Yeah, I think it was some type of there was some type of match. It was I thought I seen the promo for it. What I'm reading here just says singles match. I thought it said it had something like some type of hardcore type deal to it, but yeah, that one stands out. As much as I love Team Tremendous, to see them wrestling each other, which is funny because they're competing as a tag team on like 6 cards. When you go down the list, they're on like 6 other cards as a tag team, and then they're wrestling each other.
And this is funny too because like this, like some of the, so like DJZ is on this card, but he just got signed apparently by NXT, so like he might get pulled or they might let him finish out these commitments. But Joey Ryan, that's always a big one. Like I just because
that's what you have. I don't. Is it Taya, Valkyrie, and John Morrison versus Pentagon and Phoenix? Which again, you gotta love Pentagon and Phoenix. Yeah, Shark Boy is also on this card. You got Matt Striker with is it the best friends?
Yeah,
Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, and then Tommy Dreamer and Cole Cabana is on the other team. So, David Arquette is on this card.
He is? Did I miss that?
Versus Timothy Thatcher.
I think they have a thing going on.
Hold
on, wait a minute. Did you see what match Joey Ryan's in?
Yes, that's a
Joey Ryan and Val Venus. Oh my!
Sexy Eddie versus 3 women.
Oh my
Scarlett Bordeaux, Priscilla
Kelly.
Kelly,
Oh my!
Session Martinez.
Yeah. Oh, that is.
So yeah,
when is this?
That
Friday.
My number 2.
I might take off Friday to go up and see this. Like, here's the thing. Like Joe, like this. I was like, I want to go to this just because like I know it's a thing that it's a hard to get ticket. I think it sells out really. Let me see. Let me see if I can buy tickets.
But yeah, and I'm talking top to bottom. That's why I said, as much as I know the biggest fanfare is going to ROH, the ROH New Japan Super Show, and that's at Madison Square Garden. I get it, but and like I said, if I got to pick any of these cards, like I would go see. This was number 2. Number 1 was the Impact. This was number 2.
Yeah, this would be up there for me. Like, that's the thing that sucks is like like this is at 8 p.m. on Friday night, same time as NXT.
Yeah.
So, like that's
why you have the network.
Yeah.
You watch NXT afterwards. You go there and then you watch NXT.
And then you had Joey Janela's Spring Break at the same time, which was something I would want to go see too.
Yeah.
Just because I've heard really like apparently Joey Janela's Spring Breaks sell out fast, and they are a good time. So,
that, by the way, was not my number 3.
I just looked at it and I just saw the name Otani versus Nick Gage, and I'm just like, the pitcher from the Angels is wrestling, but I think it's somebody else. I don't know who it is.
There was a pitcher from the Angels named. Oh, you mean Otani? I think you meant Nick Gage.
No, Otani.
Yeah, I got you. Yes. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
All right, well, my number 3, I might as well go down my list.
Yeah, dude,
that's how I start this.
Like I said, you are more prepared for this than I am.
It would be MLW's Rise of the Renegades. They have a TV taping. That's the other Thursday. It's at 7. This has La Park, which I'm pretty sure is La Parka, right?
Yes, I think so.
Against Pentagon Jr. You have Teddy Hart, Davey Boy Smith, and Brian Pillman Jr. versus MJF and 2 guys I never heard of, but MJF's on the other team. Then you also have MJF wrestling against Brian Pillman Jr. So I'm assuming when this says TV taping, it's going to be multiple TV tapings.
Yes, that's what they usually do.
Yeah, or you wouldn't promote these guys wrestling in 2 separate matches against each other. Then you have Phoenix in a match, Ace Romero's in a match, but then they also have Simon Gotch, Low-Key, and Rich Swann all advertised.
That is weird because his new name is Simon Grimm, I think. So I wonder if it's the same guy. I assume so.
Yeah, I'm assuming too. I think a lot of it too has to do with the people who typed this in. You know, I don't know that they copied. Like they probably copied it, but they might have put it that way somewhere people understood what they were talking about. But then also Sami Callihan and Jimmy Havoc both have matches.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Sami Callihan fan.
I'm not a huge fan of his, but when
usually you get a hardcore match.
Yeah, and when I'm going down a card, and like I said, I love me some Davey Boy Smith. I haven't seen Teddy Hart since we watched MTV's what was it called?
I know, Wrestling Society X.
Yes, haven't seen him since then. You know, Brian Pillman Jr. and MJF. So there's some talent on this, and I think I'm more interested in some of the talent on this card than I am the ROH New Japan, and it might just be because it's not as known, I guess, in that type of thing.
I think I'm just being drawn to the names, like the big shows. So like like the ones I'm looking would want to go to is Evolve on Thursday night. Like again, that's WWE related, but that's a good Kyle O'Reilly versus Austin Theory. Montez Ford versus Shane Strickland. Strickland just signed with WWE. And he is really good. Who else is on this one? It looks like
Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, it looks
Angelo Dawkins.
Yes. So I don't know if that's just like a TV taping or just like a show, but I would want to go see that just because I think I had to. I forget if it was Evolve or Rev Pro that I had tickets to. Remember when I had tickets in during the summer?
When they had the back-to-back shows.
Back-to-back shows. I forget which one I ended up having tickets to, which ended up not going, which I was upset about because like Walter was there and stuff like that. Yeah. So, and then the other one like on that Thursday was Impact. I definitely wanted to go to, but the WrestleCon Super Show, Bandito versus Will Ospreay, is at least announced. I'm not sure if there's anything else announced for that.
Yeah, look like Dragon Lee versus Cavanero, but then it has Zack Sabre Jr., Phoenix, Pentagon Jr. But that's and they're the type of guys that I'm talking about on these other shows, just with a little mix of, I guess, old school and guys I've heard of and guys that I'm interested in seeing. Yeah,
you're really basically going to get the same guys across different shows, like with different matchups. Which, here's the thing, like. Realistically, if I was going, I would only be able to do like maybe one or two of these a day. Like Evolve, like if we were there on Thursday, I would do Evolve and probably Impact. I would just suck it up and do Oh, did you see Impact is coming to Philly? Did I talk to you about this?
I believe so. I don't remember if we were talking about it. Yeah, you said it was coming to was it
2300? Yeah, it's in May or something like that.
CW Arena.
Yeah, I think we should go. I'll try.
We should.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is RVD like ingrained in this, or is it just because it's in New York?
I think it's just a one-off. They probably just signed him for RVD. Probably won't. Tommy Dreamer will probably be at the 2300 show.
Yeah, it'll be Dreamer and
Sandman,
Stevie Richards or something.
Yeah,
somebody who's still local. Meanie or something like that.
Yeah, I saw Blue Meanie was on a card here somewhere.
Yeah, he's listed as like a person to appear.
Yeah. Which I don't think he wrestles. What other card was there that I wanted to? Like that's the thing. I think at this point I would like, so when we went to WrestleMania like 3 years ago, or WrestleMania 32,
right?
We kind of like were just like, okay, let's go to like one. We did one Ring of Honor show. I think if I was traveling, not up to New York, just because it's too close to us, because I wouldn't stay up there.
Yeah.
But like if we were traveling out to, it's in Tampa next year.
Right.
I would honestly more schedule my, like Peachy would be annoyed as shit at me because my Excel sheet of timed events would be overflowing, because I would honestly probably look to fill whatever indie event is going on at 11 a.m. I'm there. Whatever it is.
Actually, looking to see how much there is going on, and I'm sure, I know they're going to do this every WrestleMania and stuff. I'm sure this has a little bit to do with being New York too.
Yeah.
With the fact that there's like 80 shows going on in a 3-day span. But if they keep it up, I would love to actually go and skip all the WWE events. Every single one of them. And just try to jump around to as many shows as we can fit in during WrestleMania week, and just do that part. I don't need. I will spend the money for general admission tickets. All these places.
Oh yeah,
instead of WWE, and just go stay in that area, and we can go. Kind of like when we went to see Chair Shot Reality and stuff. Find those little things in between to go to, and then just fucking watch WrestleMania from the hotel room.
Well, WrestleMania, I think like. It looks like they're smart about it, so like there's nothing going on really on Sunday.
Nah.
So like we could go to WrestleMania. We could
No, I don't want to. I want to save money. I want it to be a different experience. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm doing WrestleMania, I want to do all the WWE stuff. I would love to experience it in a different way.
Well, I think I would do WrestleMania. It would be like, let me just get into the stadium. type of thing. Not like it would just be like
find out if they're having some type of viewing party or something there.
Yeah, maybe that's what I would do. Probably
like find out. Yeah, because if you found who was it? I know it wasn't necessarily a WrestleMania viewing party. It was when the Hardys had something that one time, and they were talking about how they left. And then they were like at the arena. They had some type of viewing party or something.
I forgot
on that weekend that they made their return.
Oh.
There was some type of advertisement of them having a thing. But you always see wrestlers with, and I don't know if it's necessarily for WrestleMania or if it's for NXT or whatever it is. But you always see stuff like that, some type of viewing thing or whatever. But yeah, I would love to do the everything but WrestleMania trip.
Well, they do the Mania bar crawl too. Or I forget what they call it, or like Mania Crawl or something like that. It's a bar crawl on the morning of WrestleMania. Like that would be fun to like lead into it. But the Saturday show, so Saturday has like Rev Pro I would want to go to. The one match they have announced, Tanahashi and Ospreay versus Sabre Jr. and Suzuki. That just it already sounds like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But then what else? Like I would want to go to I think I would want to go to the Chikara one just to go to a Chikara match, to some of these like indie ones.
And that's where my mindset. And this is going to happen. It might not happen next year, but this is my next. We did WrestleMania and it was great, and I would love to do it every year, but I'm just never going to do it every year. The Dallas one fit at a perfect time for us. It's a stadium we want to see, everything like that. I want it to almost be in a city that I want to see, that, like you said, that it's not a couple-hour drive for me to get to. I want it to be a city that I want to see, but I would love to just go and see all these guys that I've never seen before,
exactly.
These companies I've never seen before, and just go around and just watch them. Because they're going to put their best of the best out. And to be honest with you, I'd love to go see Team Tremendous wrestle 6 times in a 2-day span.
Saturday, I like the name of this event: Wrestling Revolver, Pancakes, and Pile Drivers. Yeah, I think that's something they do year over year. It's like, listen, it's all the same people, but they have a good card. Like I would want to, that seems fun.
There's a lot of like single matches that stand out to me. There's just the House of Glory Culture Clash, which is Low Key and LAX versus the Great Muta, Pentagon, and Tajiri. That match stood out to
GCW, me. I think this is Joey Janela's Spring Break Part 2, The Greatest Clusterfuck. It's at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday night. Rock and Roll Express versus LAX. I remember hearing that Rock and Roll Express got announced for like a match WrestleMania weekend. I would want to go see WrestlePro versus CCW. Just again because of CCW to see because that is somewhat local to us, I believe.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, I would honestly just fill it. I think if we were to go again, I would just look for what wrestling events are at what time, and just fill in the blanks of whatever's available. Here's what we're going to, or we
we literally talked about if we went to WrestleMania again, you didn't want to do the Hall of Fame, and now it sounds like they're actually making it worse by limiting the time they could talk, because some of them were worth listening to.
Yes.
Other ones were not.
No.
Some of them you wish they stopped 2 minutes in, but limiting the better storytellers is going to suck as far as being there for that. NXT, I feel like I would love to go to NXT, but I've been to NXT enough that I feel like it would make it just a completely different experience if we just avoided any WWE event and just did everything else. Hell, I'd even say if they had another supercard, to avoid that too, and just do all the other lower level stuff that's kind of around it.
Yeah, I like supercard. I think the main reason for me, it's just because of ease of getting there. It's a big card.
Now I'm saying if we ever went
to
and did
one,
a WrestleMania week again, I would probably try to get everything below it. And as much as I want to see Impact here, I'd probably even put that as too high of what I would want to try to see throughout here.
You just want to be a mark this entire weekend.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
what was the what was I just gonna say? Oh God, I forget what I was gonna say. I don't even know.
I mean, who doesn't want to see David Arquette wrestle?
I do.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, we missed him last time. He was here, I think, for last House of Hardcore. But yeah, and there's probably, and this looks like it's just all the wrestling stuff. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And
that's my thought. Is there's stuff around this. This list was purely just the different wrestling events they had. So yeah, you start throwing, and we did what? We did 3 different events when we were there that wasn't necessarily WWE related. With the Jim Ross and the 2 chair shot realities,
and then the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I'm saying non like wrestling.
Oh yeah,
event. And that was out without us even like making a huge effort to get to everything. I know you had it planned out, but it didn't feel like we were rushing to them.
Well, that's what I planned it, just because like Peachy was with us, and I didn't want to just completely try to overburden him with all the wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, maybe bachelor party next year, Tampa Bay. We can do it. We can do it.
For who?
Fico. Fico, your bachelor party's booked for Tampa next year. All right, bud.
I was gonna say, are you planning your own?
No, come on now.
There was other. I'm trying to look through real quick because there was a couple earlier events for the matches. Team Tremendous against Rosemary and Allie.
Where's that at?
It's WrestlePro does funny equal money.
Oh, that's on Wednesday too.
It's Colt Cabana and Santino Marella versus Dustin and Justin.
Yeah, Dan versus that's funny.
And then there's that's the Blue Meanie card.
Oh, is that the Blue Meanie one? Okay.
Yeah. Scarlett Bordeaux, Swoggle, Nova, Blue Meanie are all announced for it. So, but yeah, Team Tremendous against Rosemary, and again, unfortunately I'm a sucker for Team Tremendous.
You really are.
They've stood out to me ever since the very first. I've never been disappointed watching them wrestle, and because I very rarely, as much as I'm a wrestling fan, I very rarely go into an event and not have at least somewhat knowledge of the guy.
Yeah.
And be very interested in his match. And the first time I seen them wrestle, I was very interested in their match.
Oh, okay.
So then every time I've seen them since, I was like, oh yeah, that's that team, you know? So yeah, I think that's why they stand out to me so much. I know I mention them a lot, but that's why. It's because they
love that, man.
My interest.
That's perfect. Like, listen, like this was before when I just got into it. That's why I really like the Young Bucks. And like, I remember we went to like a House of Hardcore thing or something like that. And was it House of Hardcore. And it was before I really got into like the indie bug and like wanted to watch all the other stuff. And Young Bucks caught me with that, like just because they're doing flippy stuff. Now, that's, you know, speaking of the Young Bucks, AEW, no events this weekend.
Yeah.
And they've said also they're not going to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming you've seen the interview or whatever with Cody, where it might have just been Twitter. Somebody mentioned it, and he said that's WWE's week. We'll let them have it. We're not interested in it because as much as in one sense it could be thought of as stupid because you're getting fans out there already, but I understand what they're going for. They could say they don't want to compete with WWE, but to be honest with you, you get that type of money backing, and Tony Khan has it in his head that they're going to compete with WWE, at least eventually.
Yeah.
And if you start piggybacking off them this early, I could see why they want to distance themselves.
I think they're more just doing it as a favor. Like, I get it, it's WWE's weekend, but I'm glad they're not, because they're not taken away from the other shows. Like the other main wrestling shows, the Ring of Honor New Japan show. If AEW was there, that show would get shit on. Like, it would not, like...
Well, and to be honest with you, they would want it to be at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I think they're not at they are, but there aren't. They could have sold out Madison Square Garden faster than Ring of Honor and New Japan.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the point there too. This is the G1 Supercard. This is their event at Madison Square Garden.
They're playing nice. I think they're doing right by New Japan and Ring of Honor by not trying to go and also take, because it's taking this weekend then away from them.
Yeah,
now
and I believe if they were not already scheduled for Madison Square Garden, I wouldn't doubt that they would have attempted to get Madison Square Garden.
I kind of think they would have left this weekend alone, at least this year. Next year is going to be a whole other story.
I don't think they're completely ready to. I think they have a lot more, plenty more announcements that need to be made, and probably that first event
they have to. That's the joke
on my birthday. That's going to be
on your
like
birthday.
that is going to be the kind of coming out party, for them. I think as a organization, as a company, or whatever. So throwing something together right now for this, I think would have been useless to them anyway.
Well, right now
there's still that mystique behind them.
Well, that's a running joke. They're a T-shirt shop.
Yeah,
that's all they are right now. So, I think it was a smart move by them not being here this weekend. Like, kind of let everybody else, and like they've kind of said, and I hope they hold true to it, is that they're not showing up. Like, they're not going to be in New York for the weekend or anything like that. They're not, because they've been doing these surprise appearances at all these indie promotions.
Right.
They're not going to do that for this weekend. No. So
and maybe they do. Maybe they have that feeling where they're like, no, that's a cheap way to do it. But yeah, if they were going to do it, it's going to be the ROH. New Japan show. If it was going to happen, it's going to happen then. Yeah,
no, they're not going to do. It's just so you know, I'm looking at it. It's only like a 2-hour and 20-minute train ride to get to the Rahway Recreation Center, where a lot of the events are.
That's where Impact is. Right?
Yeah, that's where a bunch of them.
From work, it was about an hour and 6-minute drive.
Okay, yeah.
Which I work in Jersey, but
yeah, it's about a 2-hour train ride if you jump on the 73 to the Trenton line from where I live. Let me see. Where is 70? Where the fuck is the 70? Where can I get on the Trenton line at? Oh, right at Bridesburg. How about that? I didn't know that. I might have to. Okay. If I could get on the Trenton line from me.
Well, go to the Impact show. Let me know how it was.
Yo, dude, this isn't even a joke. I might. If the train rides work out, I might. When is that one?
The Impact was Thursday night at 11.
Yeah.
that one won't work out. I know that.
I could drive. Maybe. Maybe. But what's on Friday? So Friday is...
This is behind the scenes stuff right here.
Yeah, listen, you guys are hearing my weekend plans for this. But see, this is why I like and hate that it's so close. Because it's I'm not staying up in New York for the weekend or anything like that, but these are all relatively close enough that I'm like, maybe I can go for a little bit. Swing up.
It sucks because it's not in Philly. It's not right here.
If it was right here,
to the point that you'd be going to multiple things no matter what. It's just far enough.
It's an inconvenience.
You'd want to do it, but you don't want to do too many of them. You want to find that right time to go, hit a couple things, and come back. But it's not far away, like you said, far enough away for you to go and stay all weekend.
All of these are in reach of being able to go to.
Yes,
dude. If it was here, I would be broke. That's not even a joke. I would just be. Because I would go to
You'd be broke as a joke.
Here's a question for you. So your idea of doing a WrestleMania where we just go to all these indie shows and don't touch the WWE stuff.
Yeah.
Would you do that here if it was in Philly?
I think I'm more likely to do it here if it was in Philly.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to...
I might want to do NXT in Philly.
You wouldn't want to do the WrestleMania in Philly?
No.
Just really?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to say no. And obviously I would change my tune if it came here. But right now, where my mindset is, I would say no. Purely because if I'm going to WrestleMania, I want to sit in pretty good seats. I don't want to sit in shitty seats in Philly. So I want to sit in pretty good seats. And if I'm going to throw out that kind of cash, I want it to be like when we went to Dallas. I had never been to Texas before. It was an interesting thing to me. Being in Philly and putting up that kind of money to go to a show, I know WrestleMania doesn't come around here ever. I'd rather go to the next 3 pay-per-views in Philly and sit in okay seats.
Extreme Rules got announced for Philly. We got to talk maybe if we want to go to that.
Yeah. We'll
decide that week.
See. Yeah.
No, but see, I would go to the Mania in Philly I would want to be there.
See, if I'm more likely to jump around to all these other events than care more about the WrestleMania. But yeah, that's what I said. I said if it got announced, I probably would change my tune.
Yeah.
But I would definitely do this jumping around thing more than anything else.
Oh God,
I'd want to jump around from all.
Okay, where would all the indie shows be in Philly? 2300 Arena would be booked all weekend.
Yeah.
Where else would they go to?
Temple.
Liacouras Center would.
Liacouras Center.
That would probably be AEW's show. I don't think Ring of Honor or New Japan Ring of Honor would have to do another combined show, I think, to sell that out.
You think maybe like
well, the Armory, I think they would go to up in. I was never there, but I know you were up in on Southampton.
Yeah, you weren't there.
Nah, I wasn't there. I remember I had something that weekend. I think I was in like.
Where did you and Jer go the one time?
2300 Arena.
No. Then who went to the Armory?
Dom.
It was me, Dom, and Jer.
Maybe. Yeah, I was going to go to that, but I was it was Temple Penn State played at Penn State that weekend, I remember.
Okay.
And it was like, I got home at like 9 o'clock, and I was too beat to end up wanting to go.
I'm even curious if they would use, what's the convention center in like Wildwood or something like that, or in Atlantic City type thing where it's close enough, you know?
I don't think they would go down to Atlantic City. So I don't think you have to. I think there's enough smaller like rec places around here to do a lot of these events. We're just thinking of the big ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think 2300.
2300 would be hands down be booked the entire weekend.
And I think they jump over Liacouras Center too. I think that one I think would go right. It would go quickly, probably even quicker than the 2300 Arena.
I think 2300 Arena would go real fast because I think one.
Well, you have a bigger event.
There's the Chikara Wrestling Factory, which is I just did a Google, which is that right up in? Yeah, that's right up in Mayfair. So that would probably host some stuff just because.
Now, if you're going to tell me you're going to have an event at the Palestra, I'd go there.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I would. Yeah, there's so many boys and girls clubs, PAL centers and stuff that they could. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh my God, if you could.
There's a lot of places, but my dream place wouldn't be the 2300 Arena. It would be Liacouras. It would be to go watch wrestling at some way, shape, or form at the Palestra.
Oh my God, I would cry being in there. For those that may not be aware, the Palestra is just a very old, like, college basketball venue. It's UPenn, right?
Yeah, they all kind of use it as like a partial home court, but
yeah, I think it's basically the home court of college basketball in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's high school playoffs.
I watched North win a basketball championship there.
Yeah, The championships are played there.
It is,
and high school basketball is huge in Philly.
It is such a cool venue.
It is.
The only thing they might not do it there though, because no beer sales, and these smaller promotions wouldn't be able, I think, to get the restriction lifted for beer sales. But there's so many.
Well, I'm even thinking, what's that place by my mom's in Feasterville? They always have smaller level wrestling events there.
Oh God, I know what you're talking about. There was
the Sportsplex.
Yes, the Sportsplex.
The Sportsplex. They always have smaller level wrestling events there, so I could see them making, anybody who has had some type of involvement with them in the past, I can see them having an event there. So like you said, there's all types of places already that run lower level wrestling events.
And the best part about all of this would be is just it's all Uber rides for us.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Like
absolutely.
that would be like I would not have to drive to these places. Oh my God! And then imagine afterwards we go to the strip club and we see Joey Ryan there. How great! And then he's flipping the girls with his penis plex or whatever he calls it. That would be the money shot. Legitimately, Val Venus money shot. There we go. We're all tied in. They're in a tag team match.
You know what? 10 years from now, when we get WrestleMania, we'll do this.
Oh yeah. Like I just don't know, like if they would use like the Electric Factory or the Troc.
What's the place that we went to see NXT?
The Troc or no Tower.
Tower.
I don't like the Tower for wrestling.
I know, but NXT's already performed that. You know what I mean? Like it's already it has some history of being
a wrestling
venue.
Yeah. Which I'm upset we haven't gotten an NXT yet this year. We usually always got an NXT Roadshow in February.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then, like, last year was thrown off because of the Rumble, which made sense.
Right.
But we got NXT there. So I was hoping, like, in the build-up to WrestleMania, they would do, like, a house show, like, last weekend or something in the area.
That's so cool for us now.
Well, I'm hoping they come soon. I would love if they, instead of the... See, I don't think they will. Instead of the Tower, I would love for them to use Leah Chorus Center. But I think it's too big for just a house show. For what they want. Man, I would love... Oh, my God. Like, that idea now, just thinking about it... I'd never thought about it. So, like, seeing a list of these shows and being able to just bolt around...
You mean in Philly or just doing it
in Philly? In Philly.
Yeah. I have that mindset that I think the next time that we travel to an event, I intend it on being WrestleMania week with every other event. I don't want anything WWE related to fuck up my time.
Yeah, I would do, like, I think I would still do WrestleMania.
Well, I'll sit at the hotel and I'll watch you.
That's fine. That's what you guys did after WrestleMania when we went.
Yeah, that was after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't remember.
This will be during. I'll be texting you.
I wouldn't be able to get it because there'd probably be no cell phone reception.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. So I guess we, like, looking at where this park thing is, I might go into Impact now. We'll see.
No.
So, but
I want lots of pictures.
I'll let you know. Well, you're coming with. We'll get you to call out of work.
Yeah.
I'm sure that will go over well with everyone.
I have plans for that Saturday.
So
I mean, no, I don't. In case anybody listens to this, I do not. My plan is to be sick.
That's fine. Because you want to come up to the New Japan Super Show.
Yes, exactly.
Listen, there's going to be betting going on there, so someone has to support the system. So, alrighty. Anything else you want to add? So next week we'll try to do our prediction shows. We'll most likely... I like the format. We've done them in the past. Split up Raw, SmackDown, NXT.
Yeah.
Although this one's going
to... We'll see how we do it this time around.
Because this one's a little tricky because, like, Becky and Charlotte versus Ronda, that's both Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, well, I don't even need that as much as... We haven't seen Peachy in, like, 2 months.
No, we haven't.
And when we did WrestleMania last year, we just did the three of us.
Yeah. Did we? Was it? Oh, yeah, we did. That's right.
It was, what was it? It was SummerSlam.
SummerSlam is when we broke.
We had a guest for each one.
Yes. But we're still deciding how we want to do that. So we'll keep you guys updated. And like I said, big announcement, we're doing it another year because I paid the renewal for the podcast.
I'm amped. One more year of me unsubtly inviting Team Tremendous onto an episode.
Is that all? That's all it's going to be for the next year, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, I will not quit until they offer their services to come on this show.
Oh, man. Well, I might quit.
I refuse to go out and ask.
Well,
it's supposed to be unsubtle tags of them.
I might quit then just out of if we don't have a sponsor because I can't afford that many years of podcasting being unsponsored. Oh, man. Actually, this is good, too. I'm just checking my bank account. I got to transfer some money around to make sure that I don't overdraw. Because I wasn't expecting the the podcast money to come out. I didn't know when it renewed.
Fuck it, Walt. You know? That's part of being an adult, is overdrawn.
Yeah, nah. I try not to get on that level. So, alrighty. Anything else from your side, Mike?
From my side, what?
Mike. I tried to say Mike. I don't know.
Just call me Hart?
Yeah, Hart. Yeah.
No, not after you calling me that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they look like fun events, and
yeah. Listen, if you're
out there going,
have fun. Hit up as many as you can. Have a good time.
Send us pictures. Let us know how it was.
Tag us and Team Tremendous in any of your photos.
Yes, both of us.
Yes.
I'm going to start a hashtag movement soon.
Hey, well, listen, I'll talk to you after this.
Okay.
Because we got that thing that we could do as like a hashtag thing or something like that and search for it and have those be the tags for it.
What?
I'll explain to you how it works afterwards. You don't understand how giveaways work. But alrighty, everyone, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoy WrestleMania week, and we will catch you guys next week. Later, guys.
Bye, Peach.